For an illustrious tennis career that started in the late 1990s, it is now just about hours and no longer in terms of days or weeks before arguably the greatest tennis player of all time, talk about Roger Federer, eventually draws curtains on his illustrious tennis career. Because tomorrow night, the old Roger will say his BYE to the court officially as a tennis player, and what a moment that would be. We'll be talking about that and so much more on this morning's edition of Sports Bang on Splash 105.5, the Integral Station. And my name is Ayobami Animasahun. Today being the 22nd day in the month of September. Yes, indeed, the international break is on. Super Eagles are in camp, preparing for that very interesting friendly game against Algeria in a matter of days from now. And of course, talk about the actions from last night and even forward for fixtures coming up later today in the UEFA Nations League and so much more. We've got all of that packed in one show for you. And this is Sports Bang once again. My name once again is Ayobami Animasahun. Officially welcome you to this morning's edition of the show. Roger Federer will retire from tennis after the 2022 Lever Cup after more than 2 decades of playing professionally at the highest level. The 20-time Grand Slam singles champion, remember, actually began his career on the ATP Tour back in 1998 after becoming a junior Grand Slam champion at Wimbledon, and eventually secured his first major senior title on the grass 5 years later. That's in the year 2003. But has chosen his performance in his first Grand Slam final as the best of his career. For a man that lots of things have been said about him all week long. I mean, I've heard Serena Williams, Kim Clijsters, Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, even stars from outside the world of tennis have also taken a bite on the illustrious career of Roger Federer that is about to actually come to a close later this week. But the man himself sat down yesterday to look back into his career and had a lot to say. He was actually asked some really quite interesting questions as regards the best moments of his career, and old Roger did not mince words when he looked back to the 2004 US Open final against Lightning Hewitt in a game that he actually defeated Hewitt 6-love, 7-6, 6-love, and of course he described that as a perfect, and of course that was his peak as the best moment of his career, because he described it as the moment that helped him establish his place as the world's top male player, tennis player. And then when he was asked about the most heartbreaking defeat of his life, Federer actually chose the 2008 Wimbledon final, which he lost against guess who? His old nemesis, Rafael Nadal, regarded as one of the greatest tennis matches of all time. The pair, talk about Roger and Rafael, battled for close to 5 hours on the center court in Wimbledon, with the Spaniard eventually emerging victorious over his great rival after taking a deciding set 9-7. 2 tie breaks and rate delays meant the match continued into deepening evening gloom, with Nadal falling to the floor in exhaustion and delight, having secured his first Wimbledon title, and of course getting one past old Roger in that particular one. And what a moment, what a match that was. 2008, the Wimbledon final, Roger Federer against Rafael Nadal. That was picked as Roger Federer's most disappointing and disheartening defeat in his career as a tennis player. And it didn't end there. He was also asked who he would rather regard as his toughest opponent. I mean, there is no prize for eventually guessing this one. He did not miss words either, and of course he was quick to refer to Rafael Nadal as his toughest opponent. But guess what? These two have been able to really develop their relationship from being rivalries to indeed the best of friends in the last few years, such that even according to what we are understanding, the last game for Roger Federer is going to be him playing a doubles match later tomorrow night in the 2022 Lever Cup for Team Europe when they are up against Team World. And guess who would be his teammate in that particular match later tomorrow night? From all indications, it looks like it's going to be Rafael Nadal. And what a moment that would be right there for both Rafael and Roger Federer. And of course, for all tennis fans across the world, I mean, that's definitely a fixture I cannot miss for anything. That is a moment I would not pass on, because indeed these two have actually turned out to be perhaps, arguably two of the greatest ever to grace the court of tennis. And what a moment that will be later tomorrow night when old Roger eventually takes a bow right from the world of tennis. I'm actually keen to, perhaps just throw this out as well, and actually, have you have a bite on it as regards your most memorable moments of watching Roger Federer, because indeed this is a man that has given all to tennis. Some even regard him as the man, the myth, and the legend of the world of tennis. And indeed, I'm quite sure if you're a fan of tennis, you would almost have about a lot of good things to say about Roger Federer, the Swiss maestro. So indeed, I'm tempted to eventually ask you what you make of Roger's career and what would be your most memorable moment watching Roger Federer as a tennis player. Maybe it's even going to be tomorrow night, or maybe you haven't had any yet. But indeed, feel free to go on our Facebook page, search for Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan on Facebook, Splash FM 105.5 FM Ibadan on Facebook, and of course there you actually find a live video stream of this particular show. You see me putting on my black shirt, and indeed feel free to drop your comment in the comments box of that particular show, of that particular video on Facebook, where you can as well just tell me what you make of Roger Federer's career and your most memorable moment watching the legendary Swiss tennis star. Away from that, now let's talk a little bit about boxing before we dive straight into the world of football. Floyd Moneybag Mayweather, this man has officially retired as a boxer, but indeed he's still busy trying to secure the bags, because later this weekend he's going to be having an exhibition match against YouTuber Mikiru Asakura. And guess what? While he's busy preparing for that particular exhibition match, the man is also already making plans to secure bags for the year 2023. Talk about Floyd Moneybag Mayweather, talk about money, because Mayweather has now revealed his plans for the coming months, including a second fight with MMA star Conor McGregor, the undefeated retired boxer who actually fought McGregor back in 2017 in the boxing showdown, was discussing his next moves ahead of this weekend's exhibition bout against the Japanese mixed martial artist and YouTuber Mikiru Asakura. Mayweather said, and I quote, "I want to go out there this weekend and have fun. Then I have another exhibition in Dubai in November, and me and Conor McGregor in 2023. Talk about a man already making plans. I'm not sure even some axie boxers have just been able to really make as much money as Moneybag Mayweather has made since he even retired officially as a boxer. So this man is not just it's not just about boxing. It's ultimately about the brand of Moneybag Mayweather himself, which I think is still selling fast in the world of sports, in the world of fight industry, and that's essentially why this man has decided not to stay too far from the court. From the ring rather. And guess what? 2023, we might be having McGregor up against Mayweather again, and this is something that looks quite interesting. Even though McGregor has not competed since he actually broke his leg at the start of a trilogy fight against Dustin Poirier back in July 2021, but I expect the British man to be available just in time, fit enough to be up against Mayweather later next year. Break will do right now to take some breaks. To take some commercials. And when we return, we're heading straight to World of Football, starting right there from the preparation of our under-17 women's national team for the World Cup, billed to start in October.
Splash FM 105.5.
1xBet, easy betting, easy winning. 1xBet are the surest service to make deposits easily with high odds and Yakata bonus on the spot. Click 1xBet.ng now to register. Use Best Odds NG as promo code to get 300% bonus up to 189,218 naira on top your first deposit. It's easy to use and it's easy to win. 1xBet, the reliable bookmaker.
Malaria, a double punch of Artesunate and Ammonia Queen. An effective combination that Camosunate. There's anti-malaria therapy. And you will bounce back to life. Comes in 4 different packs, 4 different age groups. Below 1 year, 1 to 6 years, 7 to 13 years.
Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Janet Pharmaceuticals Limited.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
9 Mobile máa ṣá ọ ní data ọ̀fẹ́ tó tó 100 gigabyte sínú èyíkéyìí smartphone tó bá rà. Ọ̀fẹ́ sì ni yára tẹ *200*3*1# láti ra èyíkéyìí nínú àwọn data olóṣooṣù wọn tí iye owó rẹ̀ tó náírà. Jẹ̀gbádùn rẹ̀. 9 Mobile á wà fún ọ.
When you wake up in the morning before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Give your family a tasty, nourishing breakfast of Kellogg's cereal, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Now also available for just 50 naira.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
My guy, this your sneaker shine up. How did you get the original? Did you travel or what?
In this economy, I bought it from Adidas official store on Jumia.
Yup, with several international and local brands on offer, you are sure to get quality and original items when you shop directly from the brand's official store on Jumia. You can shop for these items at juicy discounts during the brand festival from 12th of September to 2nd of October. Make secure payments online, enjoy free delivery on orders above 1,999 naira, and return any order for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Jumia, your everyday delivered.
Wọ́n ní ìlera lọ́rọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n tí àti ní ìlera pípé bá fẹ́ pani lára, ó di dandan káwọn èèyàn kígbe ohùn rárá. Yéèpà! Tàbí nígbà tó wà nílé ìwòsàn, tán wá ní àfi dandan kó o sàsan sílẹ̀ owó gọbọyì kó o tó lè gbà wòsàn. Yéèpà! Tàbí lẹ́yìn tó o gbọ́ yìí tó yẹ kó o san, kì í ṣe pé ó lè fà ẹ́ lápò ya nìkan, àmọ́ ó lè pa ẹ́ lára. Yéèpà! Ṣùgbọ́n ajá rẹ tó lẹ́ni lẹ́yìn yóò pọ̀ bọ̀ pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn alámòójútó ọ̀rọ̀ ìlera Avon HMO kò ní sọ̀rọ̀ wípé òun pariwo yéèpà torí pé níkẹyìn gbogbo wa la nílò ara wa. Kàn sí avonhealthcare.com báyìí láti ní ètò ìlera Avon kan fún ìwọ àti àwọn èèyàn rẹ. Avon HMO fún ìrónilágbára láti gbé ìgbé ayé tó kún bámú fún àlàáfíà.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, you're welcome back from that time out. It is still Sports Band with me, Ayobami Animasahun, on this fantastic Thursday morning right here in the city of Ibadan. Of course, you're tuning to Splash 105.5, the Integrity Station. And remember, if you're just joining, well, you have missed quite a bunch, though, because we've had to talk about tennis and, of course, talk about boxing. But indeed, if you're a huge football fan, well, you are arriving just in time because, indeed, the chief coach of Nigeria's under-17 women's national team, that's the Flamingos, who is Bankole Olowokere, has further expressed his optimism that his team will do well at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup built to hold from October 11 to 30th in India. Remember, Olowokere has actually been in camp with the ladies since August 30 in Abuja and said that the Flamingos who have trained to the point of pain and almost they are ready to go for that particular tournament. Remember, the Flamingos are actually grouped in the Group B of the tournament alongside Germany, Chile, and New Zealand. Once again, the tournament gets started on October 11. Talk about optimism as well. William Troost-Ekong, the standing captain of the Super Eagles, has also revealed his optimism as regards the Super Eagles' chances when they're up against the Desert Foxes of Algeria in Oran later next Tuesday. He said the team is going for an outright win in that one and nothing less. Both Eagles and Algeria will be using the friendly to prepare for next year's 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, which will resume later in the month of March 2023. And interestingly, all the invited players are now in camp. We have Okoye in camp, Ekong is in camp, Omeru, Awazem, Aino, Basi, Sanusi, Akpoguma, Ozonwa, Ndidi, Onyeka, Iwobi, Onyedika. We've got Moses Simon as well, Taiwa Wini, Chijiro Ejuke, Siridezes, Terry Murphy is in town. We also have Aruna Lukman, Adebayo. We have a Savior, Iheanacho Uzoro, and Ebu Beduru from Rivers United. Those are the players in camp ahead of that friendly game against Algeria later next week, Tuesday. And remember, before then, later on Friday, we'll be having our Super Eagles B up against the Algerian B team. Talk about the home-based Super Eagles up against the home-based Algerian national team as well. This is rather a friendly game for the Algerian Chan team, who are actually preparing for the Chan tournament that they'll be hosting later next year. So indeed, it is still rather going to be Nigeria against Algeria, but in different folds, two different folds in the matter of days from now. Away from that, now let's talk about the 2022 World Cup. Remember, Algeria has failed to qualify. Same for Nigeria. We have also failed to qualify, and that essentially is why perhaps this friendly is probably just a battle for supremacy. But talk about teams that will be participating in Qatar, especially the European teams. Their captains will now wear the One Love armband during the tournament in Qatar. This is in a bid to actually fight discrimination. Homosexuality is illegal in the Gulf state, and organizers have battled to reassure rights groups that same-sex couples will not face action at the tournament, which actually starts on November 20. Qatar has repeatedly faced the criticism over conditions for migrant workers, but insists it has made major improvements in recent years. Human rights groups this week urged more sponsors of the World Cup to support calls for compensation for workers and their families over alleged abuses. All of this is just about the human rights activism right there, building up right there to the Qatar World Cup, and even during the course of the tournament as well. So this is quite an interesting development right there. But late last night, we had the UEFA Nations League returning, and that was at the Hampden Park in Scotland, where the Scottish national team scored 3 times in the second half as they defeated Ukraine 3-0 in the Group B1 of the UEFA Nations League. But in the meantime, let us link up with our partners at the BBC for the Premier League update for more on this and so much more. When we return, we still got some juicy football stories on this morning's edition of Sports Bank.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Chris Coles at the BBC Sports Centre. Aston Villa's John McGinn was amongst the scorers in Scotland's Nations League win over Ukraine at Hampden Park, the home side running out 3-0 winners. Lyndon Dykes got the other 2 goals, with the Scots now holding a 2-point advantage in top spot with 2 games remaining. My family ask about him, and I can't speak highly enough of him. The thoughts of Jack Grealish on his Manchester City teammate Erling Haaland. The Norwegian has scored 11 goals in 7 Premier League matches so far this season. Grealish says he's learnt a lot already from his teammate.
Listen, everywhere I go now, whether it be family, friends, people in the street, they always say, what's he like, what's this? And I can't speak highly enough of him. He's an unbelievable player, brilliant person, so humble for what he's achieved already, and his mindset for scoring goals is just unbelievable, honestly, and so if I could take anything, yeah, it'd be that.
Former Tottenham Hotspur forward Gareth Bale says his move to Major League Soccer and Los Angeles FC has benefited his career. The Welshman left Spanish side Real Madrid on a free transfer in June before signing with LAFC in July. Bale, who won 5 Champions Leagues during his time at Madrid, says he hopes to be fit and ready to go for the World Cup in Qatar.
I'm playing games, training now for the last 10 weeks and getting stronger, getting fitter. Obviously now we have an important stretch of games, obviously in the MLS, and after that then turn my attention to the World Cup and hopefully be in as best shape as I possibly can.
And for more football news from the BBC, just head to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
All right, you're welcome back from that time out to listen to the BBC Premier League update. And remember, we've got this show streamed live on Facebook at the moment. On our Facebook fan page, Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. And of course, okay, I see your comments. I'm going to be Ade Sharif, Ade Lakwasi as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to King William Treasure as well. Akinwusi, Shegun, Shalakrit, Ajibola. Thank you, everybody. We deeply appreciate you as well. Due to time constraints, I might not be able to take your messages at the moment. But remember, I've got some, juicy stories as well, still on the world of sports, precisely in the world of football, because the organizers of the Ballon d'Or, they are now starting that. They are now about to add a different prize to this year's ceremony. It is going to be the humanitarian prize named after Socrates, the elegant Brazilian midfielder who also held a medical degree. According to the organizers, they released a statement yesterday that said the Socrates Prize will identify the best social initiative by committed champions. Those initiatives include those promoting social integration, protection of the environment, or aid to groups who are disadvantaged, threatened, or victims of conflict. France Football said that they chose Socrates, who actually passed on in the year 2011 at the age of 57 because of his commitment to a campaign he helped organize at his club Corinthians in Sao Paulo, while Brazil was under a military dictatorship called Corinthian Democracy. The prize will be awarded by a jury that includes former Brazil and Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Rai, who is Socrates' younger brother, as well as representatives of friends of football and leaders of the Monaco-based Peace and Sport Organization. Remember, the Ballon d'Or award will be the Gala Awards will be held in Paris on October 17. So technically, we are just about a fortnight away, or thereabouts, or say 3 weeks away rather, from that particular Gala Awards, and we are keen to see who would eventually go with the most coveted award of the night. Talk about the Ballon d'Or Player of the Year award. But away from that, now let's talk about Barcelona. Remember, they almost, according to reports rather, they almost shipped out Frankie de Jong during the course of the summer. But then the man was able to stand strong. He's never going to really falter. So that reminds me of the lyrics of the song by, what's his name? Davido. He has so strong all those while. And in fact, he has remained an integral member of Barcelona's squad. But guess what? The man has decided to leave the lead on his refusal to be sold by Barcelona over the course of the summer. He said, and I quote, "I've always wanted to stay at Barcelona. That is my priority." And indeed, that is somewhat a bit of a good news right there for him, because he eventually got his wish. And guess what? The 25-year-old has in fact featured 8 times for Barcelona this season. So talk about a man that has not only stayed but also remained integral to Barcelona's quest this particular season in a bid to perhaps win as many laurels as possible. But in the meantime, we've got actions back tonight in the UEFA Nations League. Yes, we've got loads of football actions coming up from Europe tonight. At 7:45, we'll be having Belgium hosting Wales. Croatia will also be at home against Denmark. Austria away in France. We'll be having Netherlands away in Poland as well. Belarus away at Kazakhstan. Lithuania will be hosting Faroe Islands. Slovakia at home against Azerbaijan. Turkey will be entertaining Luxembourg. And also, we'll be having Latvia hosting Moldova. Leicester will be hosting Andorra. And those are the UEFA Nations League fixtures coming up later today. But remember, we also have a couple of international friendly games. I think most notable of them will be seeing Australia against their neighbors, New Zealand. And that game, I think, will be kicking off at 11 a.m. Later in the evening as well, Iceland will be up against Venezuela. So those are just the friendly games coming up later today. And don't you worry, for all the results and reports from all these games later tonight, you can always feel free to join us tomorrow morning at 7:30 for a brand new edition of Sportsman. We call it the Friday winning edition of the show, where we often like to make winners out of you. But for now, this is going to be the perfect place and moment for me to draw the curtains on this morning's edition of the show. My name is Ayobami Animasahun. Thank you all for being a part of the show one way or the other. Big thumbs up as well goes to DJ Spider and of course Mayowa in the building. Of course, I'm wishing you all a fantastic and productive Thursday. I'm out of here. Have for yourself a good day.
Change my water to wine. You won't come change them back to water. When the person with the thing say if you stop my shine, for your mind down, I don't turn to water. Now who on the maga, now who on.
Splash FM 105.5.
Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Guess what? Apple is ready to give you a shopping festival for the whole of today. Yes, Apple is ready to give you a shopping festival for the whole of today. The question is, are you even ready to handle all the amazing discounts they have for you? Because it's gonna hit you back to back. Yeah, the Jumia Brands Day festival has been on for a while now. And, people have been shopping from their favorite brands each day. Yes. And today is the Apple Brand Day. So I want you to get ready to shop and shop and shop. Yeah, I told you earlier, if you don't know, the Jumia Brand Festival is on. And thanks to Apple, today you'll enjoy up to 10% discount on phones, laptops, and accessories. Yes, you enjoy up to 10% discount on phones, laptops, and accessories. You know, I'm talking Apple iPad Air, Apple AirPods 3rd generation, and more. So, if you want to get any Apple products, this is the time to do so because you're going to be getting it directly from the official store at a discounted price. And it's not hard. Just go to Apple official store on Jumia and shop directly from there. There is no reason to not trust what you are getting because it's going to be directly from their store. Amazingly, you can pay for your items online as payment is secure and you can choose to pay on delivery. Yes, you can pay for your items online as payment is secure and you can choose to pay on delivery. Another beautiful thing is that you'll also enjoy free delivery and free returns on any order you want to return. So in case there's an issue with any of the Apple products you get during this period, you get to return it for free. So let me say this again. Today is the Apple Brand Day on Jumia. And thanks to Apple, you'll enjoy up to 10% discount on phone, laptops, and accessories. So if you want to get your Apple iPad Air, your Apple AirPods 3rd generation, and any other Apple product you want to get, this is the time to get it. So what are you waiting for? Ensure you don't snooze on this one.
Splash FM 105.5.
From the top of the Fisher Building. This is
Detroit's number one hit music station.
Splash 105.5 FM, your integrity station.
3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
15 years ago, Splash 105.5 FM became the first independent radio station in Oyo State.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
With the best of engineers, presenters, and the entire staff who made it possible. And to the best of all-time managers, COOs, and CEOs.
Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, became in peace for all mankind.